The world of professional wrestling has been shaken by new, serious allegations against Vince McMahon. A former WWE writer named Dan St. Germain recently shared a shocking story. He claimed that on an overseas trip, Mr. McMahon engaged in an inappropriate act with a female talent. The writer alleged that this happened in front of other wrestlers in the locker room. He described the entire situation as unbelievable, painting a picture of a very chaotic environment. This story quickly spread across the internet, adding another layer of controversy to the former WWE chairman's legacy, and causing many fans and insiders to discuss the past culture of the company. However, many people are questioning if this story is true. Respected wrestling journalists looked into the claim. They reported that no one they spoke to had ever heard this story before. There were no rumors or whispers about such an event ever happening. They also pointed out that the writer, Dan St. Germain, was not with WWE during the time the implied talent was active. This means he could not have seen it happen himself. This detail makes his account sound more like a second-hand story that might have gotten twisted over time, rather than a first-hand witness report of the alleged incident. In response to these explosive claims, a representative for Vince McMahon quickly issued a statement. The statement was very direct and left no room for interpretation. It said that the allegation was completely false and firmly stated that this never happened. This strong denial aims to shut down the rumor before it can gain any more traction. It puts the burden of proof back on the accuser. The denial is part of a larger, ongoing battle for Mr. McMahon to control the narrative surrounding his departure from the company he built into a global empire, as he faces numerous public accusations. These new claims come at a time when Vince McMahon is already facing serious legal trouble. He is currently involved in a major sex trafficking lawsuit filed by a former employee, Janelle Grant. This lawsuit contains many disturbing details that have already damaged his reputation severely. Additionally, another lawsuit has been filed. This one alleges that both Vince and Linda McMahon, along with WWE and TKO, knew about misconduct by a former employee involving underage individuals but did not act to stop it. These legal battles are far from over and continue to cast a very dark shadow over WWE. Amidst all the legal drama, there was a lot of confusion about Vince McMahon's relationship with the current WWE talent. A report surfaced that suggested WWE had told its wrestlers not to have any contact with him. This created a period where many people who were once close to Mr. McMahon seemed to distance themselves. The report mentioned that some of his friends were pressured by their families, who were upset by the details in the lawsuits. It seemed like there was an official ban in place, designed to separate the new era of WWE from the controversies of its former leader and protect the company's image. However, other reports have presented a different story. Some journalists said they never heard of any official rule from WWE telling talent to avoid Vince McMahon. This conflicting information has led to a lot of discussion and speculation among fans and people within the industry. The conversation started up again recently after pictures appeared online from Mr. McMahon's 80th birthday party. These photos showed current and former WWE superstars attending the celebration. This suggested that any ban, if it ever existed, was either not official, not enforced, or had been lifted, allowing people to reconnect with him personally. The presence of wrestlers at his birthday party shows that the situation is complicated. While the company may want to move in a new direction publicly, many people have long-standing personal relationships with Vince McMahon. For decades, he was their boss, mentor, and friend. It is difficult to simply cut off all contact with someone who played such a significant role in their lives and careers. When asked about attending the party, wrestler Drew McIntyre chose not to comment at all, showing how sensitive the topic remains for people currently under a WWE contract. It's a delicate balance for everyone involved. Ultimately, it seems there was no formal, written directive from WWE management. The distancing that occurred was likely more of an unspoken understanding. People were trying to navigate a very difficult situation. They needed to protect their own careers and reputations while also dealing with their personal feelings about the allegations and the man they once worked for so closely. The new leadership under TKO is focused on building a new corporate culture. This involves moving on from the past even as the lines between personal and professional relationships remain blurry for the talent. In more positive news, WWE seems to be bringing back an old fan favorite tradition, The company is once again creating large custom sets for its premium live events. A video recently surfaced online that showed the stage for the Clash in Paris event. The design was incredible. It featured a huge entrance ramp shaped like the Eiffel Tower, complete with special blue and red lighting that filled the arena. This suggests a return to the days when each major show had its own unique look and feel, making the events feel much bigger and more special than a regular weekly show. This change is a welcome one for many fans who missed the spectacle of the past. For a while, the sets for premium live events had become very similar, often using a slightly modified version of the same large screen setup seen on Raw and SmackDown. Bringing back unique themed stages adds a lot of excitement and production value. It makes events like Clash in Paris feel like a true destination show. It shows that the new management is willing to invest more money into the presentation of its biggest events, which helps create unforgettable moments and a more immersive experience for the audience watching at home and in the arena. While the look of the big shows is changing, the day-to-day life of the wrestlers is changing too. The WWE has significantly reduced the number of untelevised house shows on its schedule. For years, wrestlers were on the road constantly, performing almost every night of the week. Now the focus is more on the televised shows, Raw and SmackDown, and the monthly premium live events. This means less travel and more time at home for the talent. This shift marks a major change in the traditional WWE business model, which relied heavily on live event revenue from smaller towns. According to reports, many of the wrestlers are very happy with this new, lighter schedule. One WWE veteran was quoted as saying they don't miss house shows at all. They explained that the current model is much better for their physical and mental well-being. The constant travel and physical toll of wrestling night after night can be grueling. Having more time to rest, recover, and be with family is a huge benefit. While some younger talent might miss the chance to practice their skills in front of live crowds, the overall feeling in the locker room appears to be one of relief. Beyond the major headlines, there are always fun and interesting stories that come from behind the scenes. These stories give fans a little glimpse into the real people behind the larger-than-life characters they see on television every week. They remind us that even though they are world-class athletes performing incredible feats, they are also human beings who have funny, strange, and sometimes painful interactions with each other. These little tidbits of information help to build a stronger connection between the fans and the superstars they cheer for, making the whole world of wrestling feel more personal. One such story recently came from the undisputed WWE champion, Roman Reigns. During a podcast interview, he shared a surprising and painful memory from his past. He revealed that Stephanie McMahon, a powerful figure in WWE for many years, once accidentally injured him. It happened during a segment in the ring where she was supposed to slap him. Roman Reigns explained that Stephanie got a little too carried away with the performance. She was trying to make the slap look as real as possible for the cameras and the live audience watching the show. The result was a slap that was much harder than anyone expected. Roman Reigns said that the impact was so strong that it busted my eardrum. It was a genuine injury caused by Stephanie's enthusiasm. She later explained that she felt Roman wasn't selling her previous slaps well enough, so she decided to put a little extra force into the next one to get a better reaction out of him. It turns out this wasn't an isolated incident either. Other performers like Ronda Rousey and Lillian Garcia have also reported being on the receiving end of Stephanie's surprisingly powerful slaps. This story, while about an injury, is shared with a laugh now. It highlights the unpredictable nature of live professional wrestling. Things don't always go exactly as planned, and accidents can happen in the heat of the moment. It also shows the dedication of performers like Stephanie McMahon, who, despite not being a full-time wrestler, always gave 100% to her on-screen role. These are the kinds of quirky, memorable backstage stories that become a part of wrestling lore, passed around by fans and wrestlers alike for years to come, reminding everyone of the wild world behind the curtain.